Hey guys, this is Alma from NSR. Today we have the lovely Amber Ace with us today. So I'm so excited to have you here. Can I just say I listened to your EP, Seattle, and I am obsessed. I just want to get that out of the way. Very cute. And isn't her vibe adorable? I love it. I love it. Do you think she's from LA? I don't know. What do you guys think? Where are you from?
I'm from here.
You're from Boston. She got that LA vibe. She's already set up. She's graduating this year. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned you want to move to LA, so you're already halfway there.
Yeah,
basically.
Look like I should live there.
So high five for you. Yes. Prepared. So our very first question today is something that I don't really get to ask a lot because I feel like, you know, as a really young artist, you take your time developing your sound, and I've only had one other artist here who has really truly done that. So you have a really developed sound. So how did you find that? What were your influences musically and personally?
Well, it's kind of like a mess that like all of this kind of happened. Well, like I was talking about earlier, I grew up on Christian contemporary music and Radio Disney because those were the only two things I was allowed to listen to, because my parents were like hella Christian and I wasn't allowed to listen to like the actual radio until I was like in high school.
Oh.
So a lot of things that people started listening to or people ask me about are like, oh, have you heard of this person? I don't know who they are. And then I like have to figure it out. So it was like I grew up on Christian contemporary music and Radio Disney, so like Hannah Montana and like Demi Lovato. Like I have this joke where I say Demi Lovato taught me how to sing because she did.
But she's still a great singer.
She's so good. She was so good in her prime. Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah, and then I started listening to that, and then I kind of moved towards like acoustic, like singer-songwritery type stuff. So I heard A-Team by Ed Sheeran when I was like in high school for the first time, and I remember it was like when Ed Sheeran was like not like a nobody, but like
he was just coming out,
and his single was free on iTunes, and I remember, and I downloaded it, and I was just like, what is this amazing song
this
that
magic.
I'm listening? Like, what is this magic that I'm listening to? And I was just like, I need to write songs like this. I need to write songs like this. So I started listening to Ed Sheeran, and then I started getting into John Mayer, and John Mayer's like my dad. Like I love him so much.
Great. I love him.
Oh, his songwriting is just incredible, and his guitar playing and his arrangements and things like that. So when you listen to like my EP, there's always kind of that underlying like acoustic like singer-songwriter kind of vibe. And then I also got into like pop music and a lot of like electronic based kind of music or a lot of production heavy music. And I wanted to be able to take like everything that I listen to and put it into my music because I wanted there to be a balance of live instrumentation and like electronic sounds.
That's great. And speaking of your EP Seattle, which like I said before, it was so great.
Thank you.
I really loved your sound. I found your songs to be so heartwarming and honest, and like your voice is just so heartwarming and honest. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, I don't know, it's just so light and airy, and that's what I love about you know, artists. Like I don't know, because there's different sounds that I'm really into, but like I grew up with acoustic music as well, and like I write my own songs on the guitar, so I guess I have that personal attachment to people who also include their acoustics. So you know, I really love that about your EP, and what I loved even more about it is that whoever was on your team really got the idea of how you wanted your music to sound. So, you know, who was on your team? Who did you work with? How was that process? What were the ups and downs about it?
Ooh, Jesus. The ups and downs, boy. Okay. So, first and foremost, I just want to thank my producer. I only had one producer. His name is Daniel DeLexis, and he's amazing. Everybody should work with him.
He did a great job.
Daniel DeLexis is the best. We went to high school together.
Oh, cool.
And we'd been talking about like doing music together for like a really long time. And then finally, like 2 summers ago, like I was just like, oh, I wrote Vegas. And I was like, hey, I have this song and I really want it to be like out there. I really want to put it out. And so like we sat down and he heard it and he was like, this song's dope. And I was like, cool. And basically we like produced all of it. And then I was like, do you want to like do an EP? And he was like, yeah, of course.
Let's do it.
So like we did an EP together, and it was like really cool. He's really quick too. He was very good at like just knowing what I wanted, like knowing exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Like there was one point where I was just like, that's cool, but I want it to be kind of like, and he was like, oh, I got it. And then he did it. Like I didn't even say anything. I just like did a weird face. And he was like, oh, I know exactly what you're saying. And I was like, thank you so much.
That's so
which
cool.
Which is why like I really enjoyed working with him. And then my best friend Kayla, shout out to Kayla T. She helped me write Seattle.
Cool.
Yeah, so there was that. I didn't really have like a team. It was just kind of like me and my friends, and it was like kind of difficult because as like an up and coming artist, as like an indie artist, you want to have a team, but like you kind of just have to do everything by yourself. So that was definitely one of the downs of getting everything done, because I was like working like really hard, and I was like trying to make money because I had to pay my friend to like do my like to produce my EP, get it mixed, get it mastered. And then it was also like I have to spend all this money on a photographer. Well, luckily the girl who shot my cover, like she did it for free because we were friends too. So, and then I have to find like a graphic designer, and then I have to pick TuneCore or CD Baby or DistroKid or like all these different things, and that part of it was kind of stressful. But it all ended up happening, and I feel like it was one of like the best time of like my life, but also like the worst, because it was like I'm stressed out because I have all these things to do for this EP plus like other things, but then it's also just like I'm creating music and I'm doing what I really love doing, which is like creating music and like putting music out there. So yeah, that's just kind of.
And I completely understand that. Like, trust me when I tell you, the way you're describing it is so familiar. Coming up with NSR, I paid for everything.
Yeah.
I had to put money aside and budget. I had to do the research. I had to hire the people. Like, luckily, like, you know, like Mona's Lounge, like, they really helped me out because we're good friends and stuff like that. But, you know, it's expensive to do the things that we do. And, like, finding the logo, the designer, the stickers, the, you know, whatever else we need to do. And then editing the videos on top of that. So it is a long process. But what's great about, you know, your EP is that it shows. And it's always, I guess it's always worth it, like having all those tears and all those kind of little mini meltdowns and all that stress to come up with something so great is always going to be so rewarding. So, you know, like I hope that you remember that, like, you started from one point and you got to point B, and now you're here, and now you only have the whole world in front of you, so you can go ahead and take it on with your music.
Thank you.
So congratulations again. It really did came out really good, and I'm so proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
Girl power.
Thank you.
I love it. All right.
You're so cute. I love you.
I try to be cute. My mom always tells me I'm cute, so I try. So you also mentioned earlier that you write your songs. So I'm a songwriter as well, and I guess different songwriters work differently. So what's your process when writing your music?
It's usually like, it's like I'm noodling like on guitar or something, and then I start like humming, and then I like what I'm humming, and so then I just keep like going with that. And basically Ocean's 11 is about like these 11 thieves who go like rob a casino in Las Vegas, and my friend was like, oh, I fell in love with Vegas when I went there, and I was like, that sounds like a song. And so I just wrote it down in my phone.
Oh, that's
and
talent.
Then like the next day I like wrote it, and I was just like, this is cool. And so, you know, like when you get into that songwriter zone where you're just like, nobody distract me, I'm inspired, don't talk to me. Yeah, that's usually what the process is like.
Okay. Do you find it hard sometimes to share those emotional songs?
I think I'm a very like emotional person, and I'm very open. I like having my heart on my sleeve. It's like what you see is what you get. You can ask me literally anything, and I'll literally tell you. I'll be honest and I'll be truthful about it. And I think the point of artistry and the point of music is to be vulnerable with your audience, and like people you want people to get to know you. And so I think what's more difficult is writing the songs, because that's like when you're the most honest with yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think sharing them is not as difficult, because it's like I want people to know what I go through. I want people to connect with me and how I feel, and hopefully it reaches people, and hopefully it touches them in some sort of way.
Right. To hear, and since I can ask you anything, what's your most embarrassing moment?
Oh my God. I have
Is it a good one?
many. The first one that came to mind is like, it's actually kind of gross.
Mine is gross too. I'll share mine if you share yours.
My most embarrassing moment. It doesn't even matter now, because like we're all in college, so it's like whatever. But in the 6th grade, all right, in the 6th grade, you know how in 6th grade everybody's immature and everyone's insecure, and everyone in middle school is insecure, and everyone in middle school like doesn't want to get made fun of. Like that is like everyone's biggest fear, is just like being a dork or something. And so basically I mostly kept to myself in middle school, and I sneezed and I farted like really loud. And it like was on one of those plastic chairs, so it just kind of like felt so much worse than it actually was. And I was just like, oh my
I bet you were sitting there like, can I just kill
God.
myself
I was just
now?
like, I want to die. And obviously in 6th grade, everyone was just like, oh my God, who did that? And everyone's like dying laughing, and I'm like trying not to like say anything. I'm like, nobody look at me. Nobody look at me.
But that's
Nobody
the
look
worst
at me.
time. So, you know, when you fart, you got to be like, oh my God, yeah, who did that? I have no idea. It smells so bad. No one will ever know it's
And
you.
then I didn't blame it. They thought the kid next to me did it.
Oh,
so they were just like, Joey, you did it. And he was like, I didn't do it. Low-key, he protected me because he knew that I did it, but he probably didn't want anyone to know that I did it.
That's nice.
He was super nice. Shout out to Joey. What's up?
You are a good man,
You're
Joey.
a good person.
I promise you that if it had been one of my guy friends growing up, they would have been like, yo, I'm going to do that. I don't know what's wrong with her. Like, ew, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's a good man. I
yeah.
hope he has a blessed life. Has a great life. And I guess I promise to share mine. Mine is really, really bad, and it's really gross. So excuse me. So sorry. So in high school, my junior year, I got picked to be a part of an organization called Global Glimpse. So a group of us from different high schools went to Nicaragua to do humanitarian work. So for the first time, we had like our free day. So like me and this boy I liked and my friends went to go get food. You know what's food? Fine, you know, fried chicken, you know what's up. And then we go to this place where like they have computers so we can like video chat or like text like our parents or our friends. I had exploding diarrhea.
Oh my God.
I was so sick, and I asked my friend to walk me home, and she was like, why do you need me to walk you home? And I didn't want to say because the guy was there. He was like, want me to walk you home? I was like, no, it's fine, I'm good, I'm Gucci. It was so bad, and I hope he never sees this video, but if he did, so I noticed that you are very open about God, because you were saying, you know, you were raised Christian and stuff like that. So I guess my question is, when you write your songs, do you keep him in the back of your mind? Because I feel like when I listen to your lyrics, I'm just like, like this sounds like some like Christian songs that I learned of, because like I mentioned before, my boyfriend's also religious.
Right.
So yeah, does he influence your music at all?
Definitely. I don't think I would be writing if he wasn't part of it, honestly. I remember being like, part of my artistry is about like sharing his love and sharing my heart with his people. I think that there shouldn't be a separation between like my relationship with God and my music. Like it doesn't make sense for me to do that. Like as a Christian, I'm supposed to tell people about Jesus and supposed to represent him in any sort of way that I can, you know? So I kind of just keep it at the forefront, because it's like, also it kind of protects me, because I know that there are going to be like situations that people aren't going to want to put me in, because you're like, oh, I know that you're Christian, I know that that's not something that you're about, and I'll be like, oh, that's great, thank you so much, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that I keep him at the forefront, because literally like I believe that without him, I wouldn't even be like where I am right now.
Solid Ground
Yeah.
is my favorite song ever.
Oh my God.
I downloaded it and I was like, Mom, you listen to us, Jamil. Everyone, like, I always tell everyone the first thing I see them, like, have you listened to Solid Ground? Here it is. Listen to it right now. So what were you picturing when you wrote that song?
Oh God, there's a story behind this song.
Oh, I love stories. Okay.
Okay. So basically, I was in the process of writing my EP,
Okay.
and there's like this saying called like comparison is like the thief of joy, and basically it's just like when you compare yourself, you feel bad about yourself when you compare yourself to other people and things like that. And so I saw that this girl at Berkeley, she like got like this record deal and it was like super successful, and she like released a song and it like blew up, and I was just like, how come that's not happening to me? How come, like, what's wrong with my music? Mind you, it was like I hadn't released anything, so it wasn't even like I could compare anything. So it was just like my mind was just like taking off of being like, oh, I'm never gonna be successful, like blah blah blah, like all this stuff. And I was kind of like really stressed out about school as well, and I was just like also like running out of money because I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this EP. Like, what if my music never gets out? Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get all these classes done. So like, instead of being like a healthy human being and talking about it, I just kind of bottled it all up. And so there was this one time I was practicing piano and I messed up, and then like I lost it in a practice room, and I started like screaming and I was like crying and I was like being super dramatic. And so I like called my friend Hudson and I was just like, I am going crazy. And he was just like, okay, just like come over and we'll talk. But we didn't end up talking. He had a rehearsal, so he just left me in his room.
Hudson, come on.
And I was just like, okay. And he had a guitar, so I was just like, I need to do something with this. And so I picked up the guitar and I was just like, yo, God, I literally have no idea what's going to happen, and I'm scared and I don't know what's happening, and I need you to make me feel like everything's gonna be fine, because right now it feels like everything sucks. And I was like, it feels like everything sucks, and it feels like I'm not gonna achieve the things that I want to achieve, and I'm scared. And then I wrote the song. And in that moment I was definitely just like, I just want to feel like I'm fine. Like, you're not alone in how you feel. Like, your feelings are valid, because I also feel the exact same way that you do. And I really hope that, like, that message, like, comes across as, like, genuine, and people, like, feel that when they listen.
And my very last question for you, no, I don't want to let you go because I'm having such a great time. But my very last question, I'm glad you're having fun. I always hope that you feel homey and loved at NSR, because we're full of love here, guys.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like,
look at that.
Yeah,
it's
I
great
feel
friends.
like at home it's chill.
Yeah,
it's a chill vibe. Yeah,
you can be here and talking to me like hello. But besides the point.
Yeah.
So if you could think of one word to describe music, what would it be and why?
One word to describe music. It's very freeing. I would say freeing, because I think music has so much power, like, to free people.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here at NSR for this interview. I hope you had fun.
I did.
And that you enjoy talking about your music and yourself.
Yeah.
And be watching out for her interview, guys. Check you out later. Alma out.
Bye.
Take kisses in my